Managing a rental property is not an easy endeavor, and that is why we developed Lamakia Property Management back in 2017, and we have served a whole lot of tenants and landlords since then. Mike, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
So Mike is our vice president of Lamakia Property Management. He runs this company every day, along with many other things that he does, but this is the biggest part of your job these days.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to talk to you about a couple of different things that you and I were discussing that we want our audience here to realize that are differentiating factors with our company. We are obviously handling all the aspects of rental property management on behalf of landlords: financial, ongoing maintenance, emergency repairs, getting the properties rented in the first place. What am I missing? Anything?
That about sums it up. Bookkeeping, rent collection.
Yep. I mean, well, 99% of our landlords, we press a button once a month and deposit the money in their bank account.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
totally hands off. They just get their money and enjoy it.
and that's the extent of their involvement. But two things that I want to hone in on with differentiating factors with our company here, Lamakia Property Management, as opposed to maybe another mom and pop type property management company. One of them is our background in the sales side of the business. Our largest company here at the Lamakia Companies by far is Lamakia Realty, and that's where Mike and I grew up in the business, selling properties. And that gives us a lot of knowledge, gives Mike a lot of knowledge of how valuations of properties are impacted. And when a property is rented and the rent is maximized and it's managed correctly, it's worth more.
Absolutely.
It's worth more money, and it increases the value of the property. And that is our goal, not only from a valuation perspective, but also to get the rent as high as possible on behalf of the landlord to maximize their investment.
Yeah, it's twofold. I mean, it maximizes the value, like you said, but it also maximizes the rent we're able to charge. And that's
Correct.
a nice service that we provide for a lot of our owners, particularly when a unit turns over.
Yeah.
We go in, we kind of evaluate, okay, can we do this or that, paint this, repair that, to hopefully increase the amount of rent that the owner is able to charge.
And one thing I've been impressed with, since you took this over a few years ago, you've been able to get a lot of the properties managed somewhat at no cost to the owner. And follow me on this, because you're taking it over. Let's say they're collecting $5,000 a month in total rent.
Right.
You guys take it over within a year. You get that rent to, I'm making up numbers, but $5,800 total.
Yep.
And our fee that's somewhere in the middle of there essentially gets buried in. The owner gets the management, gets additional rent, and it costs them nothing. And in some cases, they're making more money.
Yep. We can do that a number of ways, like I already mentioned, doing some basic improvements to the property to charge more rent.
Yep.
But also we're finding that a lot of owners don't even necessarily realize that the market's done a lot of that work already.
Yes.
They're charging much less than what the market allows. So sometimes without even lifting a hammer, we can charge more rent and justify the additional cost for our fee.
Well, a perfect example I remember is a while back when interest rates spiked. And when that happened, a bunch of buyers got knocked out of buying, and they became immediate, wannabe tenants, or they stayed in being a tenant. You guys picked up on that before anyone.
Yep.
And you were charging more where it was warranted. We're not trying to take advantage of tenants, but
Right,
where
but
it
if the
was
market allows.
if the market allows and where it's warranted, your job is to do that on behalf of the landlord. That's who we're managing the property for. So that's a big differentiator that I hope people recognize, is that sales and management expertise together certainly adds up to more on behalf of the owner. The other thing is just the fact that we have so much in-house service. We have in-house handymen. We have people that handle, small plumbing repairs, or sometimes even, electrical. And then if we don't have them in-house, we have contractors that work with us all the time. And why don't you elaborate?
Well, we have a huge network of contractors that we work with all the time, like you said. People that tend to give us preferred pricing and also priority. It's kind of tough to get contractors out quickly right now, so we have good resources for that. But also, the majority of stuff that happens, the basic repairs, the dishwasher's broken, the garbage disposal is plugged. We have guys that can be dispatched almost same day or next day when stuff like that comes up. And there's a lot of value in that. There's a lot of value in that for tenants as well.
Yes.
Tenants do appreciate and are willing to pay a little extra when they know it's professionally managed for that exact reason.
And that's something that I think a lot of landlords sometimes don't realize.
Yeah,
is
it's overlooked.
The tenant is somewhat the customer, and if they're treated well and treated with respect, and their property is maintained and repairs are done quickly, that is how you can charge more rent. It's a formula that goes together. And Mike, you guys have it down.
Yeah, definitely. And I'd say that's a big headache for most of the owners that aren't professionally managed that come
Yes.
to us is I don't know who to call. I can't get someone out to the property to do this very, very basic task. So, there's a lot of value in that for our owners.
Well, thank you for pointing those two things out. And I know we mentioned others along the way. If you need assistance with property management, please give us a call.
Thank you.